regards to the Junior High Audition Etudes set number 4. As a friendly reminder, as an auditionee, please remember that when you walk into a room and you're playing on a different set of drums, the first thing you need to do is adjust the instruments to you so that all of your muscle memory where you've been playing is identical. We have 2 things that we're going to be discussing. The first is measure 11, and I will be giving you 2 sticking options for that. The last is with regards to any of the roll passages, particularly measure 13. The first is at rehearsal B. I highly suggest that you alternate your sticking here. So you will have right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So you will be crossing hands. As a way of getting muscle memory for this is that I'm going to be crossing roughly at the wrists. A tendency for this is that students will move too low, they'll hit the sticks together, and they'll also move too slow. So when you're practicing this, one is to do it quickly. So as soon as one stick finishes, that it's going to the next drum. So slowly. Working on crossing at the wrists. The other way is much simpler, but I think there's a clarity that will be lost in the sound, and that's by doing repeated left-hand strokes on the second and third partials of each triplet. So at tempo, you as the performer will need to decide. My suggestion is to work on the alternating sticking so we do not change motion. Lastly is a simple tip on working on long rolls because you have 4 of them rather, in this etude. At 110, I would be working 8th note triplet hand isolations. And so I'm going to be using wrist with a little bit of finger in this. So by working that exercise in 8th note triplets each hand, and then filling it in, so you're doing split 8th note triplets or 6-tuplet rhythms, if you will be a good fundamental exercise at quarter note equals 110 to really develop your roll diversity and get some finger involved with your wrist stroke. Next, we'll be discussing the mallet portion for the Junior High Audition Etudes set number 4. The one thing that we have to discuss in this is bringing out the important notes, or the melodic notes, if you will. They are marked in the part with tenuto dashes above them. Tenuto simply means give full value, but for us as percussionists, that's hard for us to do in the middle of 16th notes. So we're going to think of emphasis without having really a bite to the accent. We do not want that, simply want an emphasis. So if you can think between an unaccented note and between an accented note is where we want this tenuto note. I suggest you practice this 3 ways. The first is just doing the right hand only, as such. The second way is I will do double stops. My left hand simply drones out on the G, so I'm just working on playing areas right now. So the second way I'll do that is I will play double stops. To accommodate this, I will move my left hand farther back on the G so as to not hit the mallets together. junior high set 4. We have 3 of these that we're going to discuss. The first is the diddle versus the concert roll notation. With modern technology, and I'm actually using Sibelius, where we've engraved this music, the double slashes will mean the traditional rhythm, so they'll be meaning 30 seconds, as demonstrated in the bar preceding E, which is measured 36, and then a multiple bounce roll or your orchestral roll and measure 34 on beat 3, as well as the 2 bars preceding F. So you have a clear identification on those systems. The second is the sticking options with the flams. This is really only in measure 35. Now, typically I would just alternate this with natural sticking policies based on the 8th notes. So I'll play a little softer so you can hear me speak. So 1 and 2 and. Again, ready and go. Some may also wish to do right, left, left, right, left, left, in efforts to achieve a more consistent sound with the flams. And this combination will also apply at rehearsal E. It will also apply at rehearsal G. The last but not least portion of this is working on 16th note syncopations. They're fairly straightforward in this etude, but if you look in the 4th measure of E, which is measure 40, you'll see a rhythm 1E, 2, and E-N. Again, I'm going to follow these with natural sticking policies based on the 16th notes. So I'll have, again, I'll be playing a little softer so you can hear. Right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. Again. 1, E, 2, and E-N. You see this identical rhythm with different dynamics in the 3rd bar of F, which is measure 45. Again. The thing with these rhythms is to make sure that you practice not only the black notes, the written notes, but what I like to refer to as playing the white notes. So you're working on playing the space. So what I'll do is I'll ghost the notes that aren't being played. So in measure 40, 3 and 4. Without the ghost notes.